Aries, it seems like there's a little bit of tension. Maybe you got into a series of arguments last week or this week, but there's love here. I'm just going to keep it real with you. There's love here. Like I said, just a little argument, some light energy. And when I say light, it's bounce back energy. I don't think that this is done. I always start with, is it over or not in the beginning, Aries? Because some people just want to know. That's sometimes all people want to know, and then they move on. So for those of you where you're just wanting to know, are we done? I don't think that this is a done energy. This feels like you got into an argument and you're going to work through it. Okay, so welcome Aries to this reading. If you're new to the love readings that I do, there's a placement out here for the connection, because I have this belief that when we come together with someone, there's you, there's myself, and then it's the energy that we create together. It's the energy that we build by coming together and releasing control, right? So there's the placement out here for the connection. I have some cards out here to understand what it is that you're working through, and for your person as well. All right, so I started with some oracle cards, and the first card that came out is Twin Flame Union. And I gotta tell you, this definitely is the vibe of this connection. You all have a lot of chemistry. I could be talking to a married couple, traditionally married, or you just, you're married because you live together, you give of each other, you're monogamous, or whatever that means for you, how you understand it. There is this vibe of it's you and I. And it says heart, body, and mind and soul. Okay. Dreams come true out here as well. And then it says, have faith, your rainbow will come smiling through. That is really important, Aries, because it feels like with the style of the arguments that's been happening lately, the things that you all kind of have been feeling like you're on different pages about, it can be really serious. I think it's related to legacy. I think it's related to money. I think it's related to business. And those things are really important, but it kind of feels like you all are having to have some tough conversations so that you can understand if you can get on the same page. That is what I'm feeling here. Life partner beneath the deck. And it says your romance is stable and ready to go the distance. It feels like that. So this feels like there has been a recent breakdown in communication, possibly related to where are we going to live? Are we going to buy this house? Are we going to move in together? Are we going to get married? How are we going to do this next phase of life together? Related to security and stability, because I have these stability major arcana cards out here. Okay, so I'll get into that in just a moment. But more cards for this connection. The first card that popped out was the Two of Swords, and it popped out in reverse. You know, the Two of Swords is all about that passive energy. So because it's passive and no one will make a choice, energetically, it's just no. It's a no energy. It's the absence of. So it kind of feels like there is potential to overcome that, but there definitely has been stalemate energy. Like, okay, you think this, I think that. So who gonna budge first? Not me. It feels like that. And out of that, with the Page of Wands here, it seems like there's been some inflammatory communication, triggering communication. And then we have the Five of Wands here. So the Page of Wands and the Five of Wands, this indicates having differences. Sometimes those differences are related to how we're going to take action. Let's say, for example, somebody is wanting to go after buying a home. One person, for hypothetically speaking, in this connection is like, we need to go ahead and get a loan. That is, the terms look like this, A, B, C, and D. We're going to get the contractor to do this. Bam, 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 boom. That's how I work for my family. That's how we're going to do it. And then the other person is like, actually, I was thinking that we get the house like this, but we just pay on, like, just different ideas about how to take action to go to this next level. Could be wedding planning. I was thinking crimson and cream because I'm a Delta Sigma Theta, and somebody was like, well, I was thinking black and gold because I'm an Alpha. It just kind of feels like just different ideas about how to move this thing forward, and having very strong ideas. And Aries, you are brilliantly strong. I mean, in astrology, it all starts with you, baby. I mean, you are number one. You are the energy of I am. A lot of people associate that I am energy with God. Okay, I'm getting chills when people pray. There are some people who say I am at the end because that means, and so it's done. I say all that to say that you are a powerful energy, and it kind of feels like you are kind of in some way getting more of the dominance in this energy, and feeling more like the way that you see it is the right way. Aries, I'm on your side. It's always the right way when you think of baby. Okay, that you always right. Okay, but it just feels like the person that you're dealing with is not really knowing how to move in that energy of your certainty, your clarity, and your being powerful the way that you are. Okay, so more cards that popped out for this connection: Justice, Five of Cups, and then the Nine of Cups. So this feels like you all both want to just get to the ultimate goal. Beneath the deck is the Ten of Pentacles. You all are trying to get to your goal. You're trying to get to your legacy. Both of you are really passionate about moving to the next level, or being in action in the way that activates you all to the next level. You're on the same page about that, and that's beautiful. I wish I saw more readings like this, because it takes work to get here, and an ability to have foresight and to pay attention to red flags and do all the hard work, which a lot of us, we're too afraid to do. We don't know how to do. So the fact that you're here is a beautiful sign. It's a beautiful sign. You're wanting to get to the point of feeling satisfied. And there is this feeling in this connection where both of you at some level, you feel pretty whole. You feel like if we're together, I'm good. If we're not together, I'm good. Like there's a level of self-knowing. It's not like a codependence type of thing here. And if there is that, I caution you with that energy because it's not needed, okay? So that's the connection. With the Justice being out here, this feels like you're just literally working through a challenging time right now because this is the natural outcome. Justice for me is cause and effect, or you could be dealing with a Libra. That's another thing too, especially with the Two of Swords being here. It kind of feels like this is the natural outcome of the hard conversations that you've been having. This is the natural outcome of getting to this stage in your connection. You got to start having these hard conversations about how to pull into this next level. And it's common to have arguments here. That's what it feels like. So I go on over to you. And Aries, the first card that popped out is, I want to tell you how I feel. And a deeper energy that maybe you probably are not communicating, but you might be feeling this strongly, is, I know I messed everything up. You care about this person quite a bit. You do care about this person a lot. Cross watcher, I want to let you know they care about you. Things probably just got out of hand a bit. The cards that popped out for you on your end is the Nine of Swords. So that is worry. And with Justice here, as in the connection energy, you are worried if this connection has been totally ruined because of, I think, a really challenging conversation that happened. So Queen of Cups, this kind of feels, suspicious, maybe a little bit overbearing in your approach, Aries. This is you, with you wanting to have things go in a way that you feel certain and trusting about, okay? Tapping on the edge of control. I'm not calling you that, baby. I'm your friend, right? But it just kind of feels like tapping a little bit too much rigidity. Like you don't have to be that rigid with this person. It feels like this person is kind of down for it. They feel like they have they could be another fire sign, but it kind of feels like they're with it. They come around. Sagittarius energy, like they'll come around when it's time. Another Aries you could be dealing with too. That's got to be a powerful connection if that's an Aries and Aries. Okay, so that's that. Now, there were some harsh words, okay, with the Queen of Swords here. And switch around the energies, because sometimes when I'm delivering the reading and I'm seeing it from a perspective, I'm really channeling in the other direction. So it could be that, this other person is the person that's been kind of working through the energies that I'm describing for you. But with this Queen of Swords, this is directly communicating, and you don't, it just has to make sense. There's a lack of emotion here with the Queen of Swords being here, and then there's the Five of Swords in reverse, and also a Knight of Swords. So what that tells me is that, one, you're determined in your energy. There's a season where recently where you are determined to get your point across. You're determined to get to this Ten of Pentacles, this belonging, family, you know, getting that home, whatever that is. Like, I do feel a vibe that someone is thinking about how to move in together, get a home, or secure some type of foundation to go to the next level. And it feels like you're really determined. You're very passionate about this, and it's all mind, okay? And there was probably some nastiness that happened in the arguments that were taking place, maybe a little bit cunning in the way of getting a message across, and possibly being a little bit injurious, a little hurtful, and not being conscious in the heat of the moment. And now, because it's in reverse, you're spending time thinking about that. You're trying to work through that, Aries, right now. And it feels like you're hard at work. And whatever that looks like, that looks different on every person. It could be you working on yourself, still getting your money together. You're probably burying yourself at work to kind of help with these thoughts, really working hard to strategize about how to carry out this plan to get this goal that you all have together pushed forward, or how to get this person back if you all are kind of like in the stalemate, separated energy. It kind of feels like you know that you might have to be the person to offer the first step toward an apology. It feels like that. That might not be all of you, but the reason why I feel confident about some of you, Aries, where you're thinking about, okay, how do I make this right, is because on the person that you're dealing with on their end, they are looking for the apology. They're kind of waiting. Like, they're like, you know what? I think, you know, I'm doing the best that I can. I know that this is a life thing, and we're going to get through it the way we need to get through it. The cards that popped out for them, the first one is, I love you unconditionally. It's very obvious to me in this reading. With, you know, twin flame union as the first oracle card, you got life partner beneath the deck. If you're not married yet, in whatever tradition that makes sense to you, there is a tone of married couple stuff. Y'all are going through grown people stuff. Okay, it's a grown people game to be in love and to build family, build a business. That's the grown people stuff. And so it feels like this is the underlying energy, Aries, that I want you to focus on as you're going through this. If this reading is resonating, Spirit wants you to know that this is the energy. This person loves you. There is a real love here. So despite, you know, okay, I'm going to make this right, I don't really know, you know, that kind of energy, despite all of that, you all are going to work through this. And I have this feeling that there's an Aries watching me right now, like, girl, I know. We always do, right? That's good. That's good. Okay, so another interesting card that popped out is I hid who I really am from you, okay? And then beneath the deck is I love you. Okay, so they have, I think those are the only two direct love cards in this particular deck, is the I unconditionally love you and the I love you, and they both popped out for this person. So when it comes to I hid who I really am from you, I confirm that energy with the Nine of Pentacles. So for the new couples, newer couples, where you're still getting to know this person, I'll put it like this, because I feel like there is a strong theme that you all have just been naturally doing the relationship thing. You're probably engaged, thinking about getting engaged, thinking about getting married, living together. That is the overarching thing. But there's still parts of each other that you're getting to know. You're still learning about each other. And so when it says I hid who I really am from you, it feels like some part of what this commotion has been is that they wanted you to recognize them as a person who could be the help in providing and creating this home for you and creating the fortune for you. And in some way, they didn't feel like they possibly could share all of what is happening with them. They wanted to present as someone who is financially independent. They have it all together. They all their debts are good. They have money over here. They got money over there. They wanted you to see them as this person who has the financial things all figured out. I'm not saying that that's not true about them, but I think that recently in these conversations that you've been having, you've come to realize a different kind of truth, you know? Not enough for you to, you know, want to permanently be done, but it definitely puts you in a place, Aries, where they had to get some of your words about that, okay? So they are kind of waiting. If you are not talking right now, if you're kind of walking around the house, not speaking, it's not that this person is not loving you. It's just that they kind of feel like there's nothing I can do. You know, I've said all that I can say. Maybe they've apologized in some way and they're like, okay, I need for you to do your part, Aries. What's up? It kind of feels like a relax. I'm sleep on it. That's the Four of Swords here. If you look at the image there, the person's just like, all right, I'm chilling from the thoughts, the words. I'm chilling. You know, all the swords are the actions, excuse me, the words, the thoughts, messages. So they're just like, I'm chilling. I'm sleep on this right now. But they know that this is unfinished, that it's not complete for you all, that there's more to talk about. There's more to plan. This person has a really healthy understanding of process. With the Wheel of Fortune here, relationships go through ups and downs. And I love this. I love this person for you in what I'm seeing, because they just kind of get it. They still know that you're on the journey. This is 3 that comes right before the 4. So whatever you're planning, they're still like, we're going to get there. It's just going to be in its own timing. We're going through something right now. But with this person, they understand, they do value that communication. This could be someone who is another fire sign, as I said earlier, Sagittarius possibly. But they definitely want there to be communication. They do want to continue to move forward. They do believe in the beauty of this union. And so they're just kind of staying in the process. They're still with you, maybe a little bit upset right now. Beneath their deck is the Page of Swords. And so this kind of feels like they might be kind of cooling back on communication right now. It kind of feels like they're also still learning who they are in this season of your connection. So for those of you who are engaged, or you're getting married, or you're moving in together, or you're about to have a child together, or something like that, we change as we go into these different stages of life. We're one person when we're dating, we become a different person when we are engaged, we become a different person when we're having children. We get to see different iterations of each other if we're, you know, lucky enough, you know, glad enough to go on these different stages of development. And it just feels like right now, this is a very innocent kind of energy where, you know, they're feeling their way around this too. They're not an expert in this. They don't, it doesn't feel like they have a lot of practice in this, because the love is truly genuine there. So that's what I have for you, Aries. I'm going to get some final archangel messages out. I couldn't even shuffle the card without this one flying off the top. Communicate clearly. You all have, from what I see, this is a beautiful connection. And I wish I could meet you all one day. If you are getting married, save me a piece of cake, honey. I love cake. Just kidding. No, I'm not. But I want to tell you, this is a beautiful connection. You know in your heart if it is too, because, you know, this message can't resonate with every single Aries the same way. God, angel, spirit guides is very particular when a message comes out. It knows who it needs to go to. So you'll know if this message resonates for you, but there's potential here, and we claim it. I think I'm getting chills. You all are going to make it. You're going to make it through this. All right, God, angel, spirit guides. For Aries, please, archangel messages. So communicate clearly, that first one. When you have the opportunity to communicate, just communicate clearly what you want. Remember, this is your person. You know, even when it gets heated and hard. Okay. Oh, I'm done. This is so good. This person you're asking about is trustworthy. You better be lucky you're not sitting in front of me at my table right now. We'd have to have a talk. This person is trustworthy. I like this person. Okay, the prayer. Thank you for helping me have faith. So I feel like I'm getting emotional. Okay, this is the prayer if you want it. Thank you for helping me have faith so I can open my heart wider in my relationships. God, you the one. You the one, God. Okay, I am grateful for your protection, ensuring that only trustworthy people are in my life. Baby, you're protected. This person loves you. You're suspicious. And I just got the vibe, Aries, that you've been through something in your life. You are a powerful sign. And you are very clear. And so I can imagine with that kind of energy, you've been tested in some interesting ways by people. And it kind of feels like you're learning with this person how to put the swords down. And that's what love is supposed to do. It's not about, you got too much baggage, you got too much baggage. It's like, baby, let me help you unpack. I'll help you unpack too. Oh, I like this shirt. You know, you allow each other to have the experience of using the baggage to get to know each other. If it's not toxic or violent baggage, that's another conversation. Now, the next card that popped out here, your inner guidance is real and trustworthy. Whoa. Spirit wants you to know that trust is important here. These swords, baby, you are suspicious. Okay, so the prayer for this is, please help me clearly hear, see, feel, and know the divine guidance that I have asked and prayed for. Allow me to keep my ego out of the way so your wisdom can come streaming through for my own benefit and for those around me. It's all right. It takes time. Take your time. Aries, my love cup, I love you. And I'm proud of you. And I'm rooting for you. Okay? I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.